What's up, nerds? So, I just got done watching episode 5 of X-Men 97. And let me just tell y'all, this episode had me shook. By the end, I was tearing up like so hard. They just threw so much at you right off the bat. And I mean, I don't think that they are. I don't know if they're going to because this season has been just so rushed going through comic book stories that I'm just curious if they will be able to realize the gravity of the situation that they have thrust onto us with this episode. So this episode, we got the Genosha, but we got the Massacre of Genosha, which is from the comic books. And I think that they did a good job because I don't know about you, but I felt it when shit was going down. And when Master Mold attacked, I mean, it was from straight out of the comic books, and when people are running and everything, and I was just like, no, not yet, I'm not ready for it. And I'm just telling you right now, like, I was just like, and then they end, which I'll talk about that. I might tear up right now just because it was so sad. I can't help it. I was like, you're doing this to me. Fuck you, dude. But I'm going to do this breakdown and tell you my thoughts and everything. But this episode, stellar episode, you guys. I think that this is very good. I don't know if I would let my children watch this just because I'm trying to shield their innocence. And this was a lot. It was a lot. Even for a cartoon, it was a lot. Like, you felt it. Yeah, like at one point, dude, I thought they killed Nightcrawler. And I was like, you better not. I'll bounce. I will bounce. I'm not playing games with you. So, all right, let me get to this breakdown, and then I'll share the rest of my thoughts on the other side. Here we go. After Genosha is admitted into the UN, Magneto, Rogue, and Gambit head to the country, where the latter pair reunite with Madeline and Nightcrawler, while Magneto meets with the Genosian Council, who wish to make him their leader. When they get to Genosha, I really liked, they showed the culture of it. It was kind of like when you see Wakanda for the first time in Black Panther. I thought this was great. It showed their culture. I love the mutants dancing. We got a lot of cameos. I'm not going to go through all the cameos. I will talk about the council, because there was some cameos on the council, one in particular that I really liked, but I thought that it was really great just seeing like the interactions of the different, mutants. I thought that was great. I think, it was just really, it would have been nice if we spent some more time here before it was destroyed. But I really did like seeing all this stuff. And I didn't like Gambit. Gambit, though, was that girl at the party, or that guy at the party that's just angry the whole time and being a complete asshole for no reason. He's like, I'm upset. I'm mad about Genosha. And you're like, why are you upset, dude? Like, stop it. This place is awesome. And it was just like the whole time I'm just like, it's the same thing with the blonde lady. She's not the president, but I don't know what her title is. But the blonde lady, I was like, she just had resting bitch face the whole time. It's like, yo, bitch face, calm down. That's how Gambit was in this. And then I just loved, and then we saw Nightcrawler. I love Nightcrawler. He's so great. I just love him, and I'm glad that he was in here, and he's just like, oh, you Americans, you're so dramatic. And I was like, that's so true, we're so dramatic and everything. But I mean, like, Europeans can be dramatic, just in different ways. Anyways, okay, so, so to the council. The council, I love seeing Emma Frost. I love Emma Frost, not as much as I love Jean Grey, but I love Emma Frost. Emma Frost is the best. But I liked seeing her on the council. I liked seeing, like, Moira on there with Banshee and everything. I just like seeing all these different, we got Shaw on there, Sebastian Shaw, and Callisto, and then Moira McTaggart was the only human on the council, and everything. So I did like all that. It was great. Loved it. And they wanted to make Magneto their leader, which was just, obviously, like Avi and everything. And I just really liked it. It was really, really, this part was good. He agrees on the provision that Rogue serve alongside him. So he agrees to be the leader of Genosha, or the Chancellor, if Rogue can rule alongside him, like his queen and everything. And I really liked that, he was like, yeah, but because this power is just too much for one person. So I thought that was nice. But I mean, he would be overseen by the council. So I mean, like that seems like, fine. But yeah. After telling Gambit about the plan and admitting to having a previous history with Magneto, Rogue declines Magneto's proposal during the inauguration. So this is interesting. The part where Magneto and Rogue are touching each other, they do go to the Savage Lands in the comic books, and they do have like a little flingy. So that was very reminiscent of this, except in the Savage Lands, I don't think you can use your mutant powers, so they would be fine. Or at least if they did that, I don't know. I don't know if in the comic books if you can use your powers in Savage Lands. I don't think you can. But in the show, they've definitely set it up. If this is a sequel, they definitely set it up that you cannot use your powers in the Savage Lands. So it's obvious that this was not the Savage Lands. And it's very reminiscent of the comic books in terms of Magneto can touch Rogue. And I explained that, and I believe in episode 1, my breakdown review. Go watch that. And this whole back and forth with Gambit and Rogue, will they, won't they kind of thing. Also, very comic books accurate, except in the comic books, they also did get together at one point in time. And then it's kind of like, you kind of lost your interest in that. Because once they got together, you're just like, oh, okay, they will, not won't, and everything. But I did like this, how she's all like, you can never like touch me kind of thing. And I liked her little speech there. It was very, very good. Suddenly, Cable arrives to warn the X-Men of an impending attack, but is sent back to the future. And then, of course, when they're going through the party, so the party goes on, and they're all dancing, and Rogue doesn't want to be the leader with Magneto and everything. She's going to stay with the X-Men kind of thing. And, the party looks great. Everybody's celebrating because they joined the UN. Amidst this, Madeline realizes Cable is an adult Nathan, having acquired a genetically new body. Amidst this, Madeline realizes Cable is an adult Nathan, having acquired a genetically new body. So Cable shows up, and he's trying to tell everybody, and I'm just like, oh man, I'm like, yeah, warn him, and I'm like, but then he's like, he gets sent back to the future, and when he goes, I'll talk about it in just a sec, but when he goes, I'm sorry, Mom, or I was too late. I'm sorry, I was too late, Mom, and everything, and he gets sent back. I was just like, oh man, that's so, just a glimpse of your baby boy. So she did notice that Cable was Nathan. And, she was all like, your eyes. And she's like, my son, or whatever. I can't remember exactly what she said. But I was just like, oh, man, that was so great. And like I said before, he just gets sent back. Just not enough time, It's just never enough time. And but I did like that. Master Mold leads a group of Sentinels in attacking Genosha, but Magneto and Gambit sacrifice themselves to thwart them and destroy Master Mold. So Cable did not warn them with enough time because the attack had already started when he started warning them. And through this entire attack, I was just like, oh my God. And as it went through, it's just so like the Sentinels, the Master Mold, except I don't think it's called the Master Mold in the comic book when it happened. But anyways, it looks exactly like from the comic book. It's got that beetle-like body with the 3 heads. And just the devastation was overwhelming. Like, it was just so, like, I was just like, oh my God. And then I was just like, oh my God, stop them. And and then Nightcrawler saved him, but then he passes out, and that's when I thought Nightcrawler was dead. I was like, oh my God, if you kill Nightcrawler, I'm done. And you see Calypso's body. I couldn't tell if Calypso was dead or not. I think she's dead, or if she's just in shock. I'm just going to say she's dead. I don't remember all in the comic books who dies, like who's important that dies in the comic books. But just like the pure devastation and just them trying to fight back. And Magneto, I think it's Magneto that says, anybody that goes up against them gets taken out right off the bat. And I think it's Banshee that's all like, to the gardens, and gets blasted, totally destroyed. And I'm just like, man. And then the human lady's like, to the gardens. And then she's just like watching this devastation. I don't know if she died or not. But it's just like, man, they have really, the power shift in this show it just changed dramatically with the attack on Genosha in this show. And I don't think that like people will understand that in terms of like, you know, mutants with their powers just got brought down a peg or two. And then, of course, with Magneto and Gambit sacrificing themselves, I was just like, when Magneto died, I mean, which we didn't see his dead body, so maybe he didn't die, because you know, in comic books, if you don't see a dead body, they didn't die. And even if you did, who knows? But when Gambit, when that thing goes through him, and then he says, mutant, neutralized. And he's like, and he gets the smile. And I was like, do it, Gambit. And he goes, the name's Gambit. Remember that. And then it just lights up. And he just blows that fucker to smithereens. And then when Rogue is holding him and his like burnt body, and she's like, all right, I'm back. I had to chill out for a second. Okay, so when she's holding his dead body, and he's like burnt half to a crisp, and she's like, Sugar, I can't feel you, and it goes to black. Like, oh my God, like, I'm tearing up now. I know I'm such a pussy, but like, I was just like, what the fuck is going on with you motherfuckers? This is not supposed to do this shit. I didn't cry back during the animated series during the 90s. I was just like, oh my God. I was like, I can't believe they did this. I was like, you guys suck. I hate you right now. And just, you know, the pure devastation of all of it was just so, I'll tell you what, man, it was a lot. It was a lot. Meanwhile, Cyclops and Jean have grown distant, unable to reconcile their separate lives. Worsening matters, she discovers that he has been communicating telepathically with Madeline. Okay, so bringing this to earlier, so Cyclops is having an affair with Madeline Pride, and I can understand why he is doing this, because he said that was the woman that I had a child with. And you can tell he is obviously having problems. I understand this. I've mentioned this in videos before. Me and my wife lost our first child, and you never really get over it. But for a year, I'd say, you're really just like constantly thinking about it, and it's really sad. And so this is just one of those things where it's very adult in terms of just the way they're talking about it. And he is not handling it well with Jean, because he didn't have a child with Jean. He had a child with Madeline Pride. And so I totally understand that. And but I understand Jean is upset about this, because he should have been able to tell her, be like, hey, I need to be able to talk to Madeline, because I'm having these things, and she's the only, and even though I love you, I can't. And I did like, and she kissed Wolverine, which is a no-no. She kissed Wolverine, which is comic books accurate, but at the same time, I'm like, whatever. But then when she's like, I love you. And he's like, do you think it or do you feel it? And I'm like, ooh, Gene, he got you. He got you. And so it was just, that part was good also. They did so that's the end of the episode. That wasn't the end of the episode, the attack, the rogue part, but you guys, this, like I said before, this episode had me shook. I was like, literally when they were killing off mutants and everything, like when they killed off Magneto, I was like, no. And then when Gambit, I was just like, you motherfuckers. But this episode, 5 out of 5 stars, so good, loved it. I wish they would have been able to stop Master Mold before the devastation, but I think that it did a good job in showing that devastating blow, and just how massacres like this is not nice, and how it's brutal, and it's just not everybody that you like is gonna survive, kind of thing. So that is my review and my breakdown, all my thoughts and everything of this episode of X-Men 97. Tell me, how did you guys think about this episode? Were you like me and you're just like at the end? I mean, I wasn't ugly crying. I was tearing up a little bit because I was just like, oh my God, Rogue. But Did you like it? Did you not? How did you not like it? I mean, like, listen, I don't understand people. Like, I understand if you don't watch the show because you're just like, I'm not interested. But when I watch this show, I like it. I do. I like it. It's good. It's fun. Not this episode. This episode wasn't fun. It was very action-packed though. The action during them trying to fight off Master Mold was very, very good. I liked it a lot. I just would have preferred them to win. If Storm was there, they would have had another Storm and Cyclops should have been there. They would have had some Omega level mutants there and stuff. Maybe if Jean was there too. Maybe if the X-Men were there overall, they would have done better. I don't know. We'll see. But tell me what you guys think. I can't wait for next week. I'm so excited for next week, you guys. I'm like freaking out. It's not going to come soon enough. But tell me what you guys think. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. You know, I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next X-Men 97 breakdown review. You guys have a good week. Bye.